everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. This is about the 15th attempt to film this video because my camera is having issues, and it's basically what it is with the Canon 70D. There was a series in them that had an issue and they did a recall for them in 2018, I think it was, and I think mine is part of that batch that needs to have the recall, but the problem's only just started recently, so I need to call them up and figure that out. I might do that in a minute actually, but I thought I would pop on today and chat to you a little bit about my kind of weight loss journey, because I have been inundated with requests to do so, mostly on DMs. You guys keep popping into my DMs and asking me to talk about it, and the basic thing you guys seem to all want to know is, as somebody who has struggled with their weight very openly for quite some time and has been all the different shapes and sizes on YouTube, what has clicked for you this time? Now, I will start off by saying that I'm very close to my goal weight. I'm not going to go into the number game in this video, purely because I don't think it's helpful at all. You don't need to know what somebody's weight is, and people find it very triggering, and I know from past experience when I have mentioned it, people get really caught up on it and they get really kind of triggered by it, and I don't want to be responsible for that, so we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to say kind of how much weight I've lost, but I don't even want to go into like clothing sizes and things, because I can see how that can be problematic as well. But I'm a size kind of 10 to 12 now, more so a 10 really. Like the jeans I'm wearing today are a size 12 and they're really baggy at my waist, so probably a size 10, but it is quite hard sometimes to come to terms with that almost. It's weird. You keep buying things, like I keep buying things in bigger sizes and then having to return them because they don't fit, and it's because my brain hasn't caught up yet. So yeah, I think that we're going to kind of refrain from that where possible. However, I have been very open, like I said, about the fact that I have struggled with my weight for, I want to say, most of my adult life, but it's not really just my adult life, it's my whole kind of preteen really as well. I'm very short, I'm only 5'1", and I have a kind of curvy body shape, and I have a genetic predisposition to be a little bit chunkier if I'm not on top of what I'm eating all of the time, which is something that I have battled with my whole life, because who wants to have to be on top of it all of the time? And that's the thing, and I don't mean this to sound controversial or patronising or triggering for anybody, but it's, you just get to a point where it matters to you more at various points in your life, and when I was going through various other points, I couldn't seem to get to grips with it. And you know what? That's fine. That's okay. You go through ebbs and flows of it, and it's fine, and you'll be just different sizes, and when you want to really be on top of it, then you will. And then hopefully you'll kind of find healthy habits and ways to just sustain that and to be at a place where you're happy. I am about 1.5 kilos, that fluctuates from goal weight, and I could easily get there now. It's just I've had a crazy sort of few weeks and I've eaten out a lot and bits and bobs like that, which I hadn't been doing with like lockdowns and whatever and things like that. So I'm just kind of seeing how I go, and I generally feel okay anyway. Sorry, I keep fiddling with my hair, but I don't know, my hair is just having problems these days. Yeah, so I started I'll explain. Basically, you know how certain people kind of just accept that they are a larger size and they're okay with that, and it's just how they are and they're fine. I was never that person. I was always the person that was on a quest to try and get thinner, but it didn't work out for various reasons. So it's kind of always been something that I've been working towards. But in December, so Lola was about 9 months old by that point, and I had just had enough of just feeling frumpy in my body. I just didn't feel like I looked nice, I didn't feel sexy, I didn't enjoy clothes, I just felt frumpy. So I started to kind of loosely calorie count. I stuck to about 1,200 calories a day, but I ate really healthy meals, and I still had snacks and chocolate and that, because my reasoning was we were in the lead up towards Christmas time, and I knew that I would overindulge at Christmas time because Christmas time. So I was kind of, you know, loose with it. But then what happened was I weighed myself shortly before Christmas and I had lost weight. And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So then after Christmas, come January, I was like, right, okay, let's get on this. So I started just calorie counting, again, sticking to roughly around 1,200. But I think what the absolute turning point for me personally was being able to establish my way of eating. So for example, you might be somebody who doesn't need breakfast. Breakfast doesn't do it for you. You don't need anything for breakfast. But you do really, really need to have a proper meal at night. So you need like a nice big bowl of pasta. That's just how you like to eat. It's a psychological thing, and it's like, you know, what your body clearly needs. And we're all so different like that. And I had come to realise that for me, again, I'm not super fussed about breakfast. I can have a really kind of small lunch, and dinners as well. I am very happy to have things for dinner, like one of my favourite kind of dinners is I'll have an omelette and I'll saute some plum tomatoes with a little bit of garlic, and then I'll make an omelette and pop them inside the omelette with some fresh basil, like a folded omelette, and have that with some grilled asparagus on the side. And I absolutely love that. To me, that is such a yummy, delicious dinner. But for other people, that might be a really not kind of filling dinner. And I'll do like one egg and one egg white. To me, that's really, really filling, and I really, really enjoy it. The same goes for like a nice big salad. I love things like that. I love salad or a nice bowl of soup. I don't really need to have the bread. I'm not that bothered. So those are the kind of meals that I like. I could quite happily just have a big old plate of just roasted vegetables with like a bit of like garlic dressing on it or something. I love that kind of food. Where my downfall was, and always was snacking. I am a habitual snacker. I love a snack. I love chocolate, but crisps is my absolute downfall. I love crisps. I come from a family of crisp lovers. My mum's the healthiest eater you'll ever meet, but she devours crisps like no one else. We're a crisp family. My boyfriend, he's not my boyfriend, he's my fiance, but I just don't like that word. Father of my child, and I still say boyfriend. But he always sort of says, like, I've never met someone that like likes crisps as much as you guys do. It's quite something. So I started modifying what my meals were, and then because the meals that I ate were kind of naturally lower calorie, really healthy meals anyway, then I would have a little bar of chocolate after my lunch. And we're not talking like, you know, oh, like 15 grams of super good quality dark chocolate. No. I mean like a twirl or one thing of a Kinder Bueno or a Curly Wurly. I don't actually like Curly Wurlies that much, I've decided. But those kinds of things. And a packet of crisps, but again, lower calorie ones. So something like the veggie straws from Aldi, or French fries. Oh, I love French fries. The crisps. Or Pom Bears, or something like that, that are really great low calorie options. I started doing things like that, and that worked really, really well. So I'd have that after my lunch, and then at dinner time I would always have some sort of dessert thing, so I'd find like lower calorie options for stuff. And once you really start looking, you realise there are so many options out there for things. Like, it's crazy how many options there are. So I started doing that, and it worked really brilliantly, and the weight was just kind of dropping off. I would usually have a cheat day as well on the weekend, or a cheat meal at least. So like let's say during lockdown it was less so like that, but I don't know, just like a nicer meal or something, or like if we had like a takeout or something like that, I would still do that. And the weight just kind of dropped off, and it took, so what are we now, August, yeah, it took, you know, a fairly like long period, I guess, to get there. But as you saw the weight dropping off, it was really motivating. And I think what the turning point for me was that realisation of, I am going to have to work at this. I'm going to have to be on top of this every single day, all of the time, probably for the rest of my life, if I want to be a certain way, if that makes me feel good, if that makes me feel more confident, if that makes me feel more like me. And I think having a baby changed that in a certain sense as well, because I wanted to be a great example of being healthy and feeling good, and also looking hot. I didn't want to feel frumpy. I didn't want to look frumpy and have to just wear clothes that I didn't really want to be wearing and live in leggings, and I didn't want that. It didn't make me feel good. So I just tackled it really kind of gently, I guess, and that's my kind of most important thing. I didn't scrutinise myself about it, and people have kind of asked me things like, you know, have you got loose skin on your stomach and things like that, and like, I'll show you. My stomach is so far from perfect. That's my jean zip. But my stomach, okay, is covered in stretch marks from when I was pregnant. Like, it's far from perfect. It's not like a crazy flat stomach. It's, you know, but it's fine. I'm not at a point now where that kind of thing really, really stresses me out. I will choose clothes that are flattering, and I will try my best to kind of disguise the bits I'm not so keen on, but you're so busy that you kind of don't have time to scrutinise yourself in the same way that maybe you did before, and I definitely think that 100% the turning point was finding a way of eating that I really enjoyed, because I like having those kinds of dinners that I have. Like, I really enjoy having those kinds of things. It's yummy for me, it's really delicious. But if you're somebody that you could not care less about snacks, you don't need to have snacks every day, you're not fussed about chocolate, but you need to have like a nice big bowl of pasta, then first of all, there are all kinds of different substitutions that you could make. You could try courgette or that kind of thing. I'm not going to pretend that courgette is the same as pasta, because it's not. And that comes from somebody that loves courgette, but let's not pretend that it's pasta, because it isn't. But you could save your calories to have that nice big bowl of pasta, measure everything out so you're kind of pretty accurate, and then during the day just make different choices. Yes, there are sacrifices involved, because obviously if you say, right, I'm somebody that breakfast really matters to me, and lunch and dinner, and I need to have everything, then you'll have to just kind of do it in a slightly more gradual way. And I did join quite a few Facebook groups that were like calorie counting Facebook groups that have really interesting posts and stuff on them. But there's so many great kind of substitutions and finds once you start looking into it. For example, for a sandwich for lunch, I will 9 times out of 10 now just have a flatbread, and they're only 100 calories, and I'll have it with salad and cheese and mayo, and it's really filling and really lovely, but really low calorie. It's just things like that, really, little swaps along the way that you kind of get educated on, and your mindset just has to be there. And I don't know, I feel like this is kind of pointless, because I'm not giving you a solution that maybe you guys want. Maybe you wanted me to sort of say, well, this happened and I kind of could do this and whatever, and it's not really been like that. It's more, I just stuck at it and made really good choices along the way, and kind of took it day by day. And I, like, full disclosure, this week I've not eaten wonderfully at all. If anything, I've probably under eaten, but not eaten as healthily as I could have, because it's just been really all over the place, and I've just not managed to get myself organised this week, weirdly. And like, I'm working this evening, and I don't usually work in the evenings, and it's been a bit hit and miss, but it's okay. I'm kind of like, I'm so close to goal that I know in a couple of days it'll balance out, it'll be okay. And yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at. I'm going to do a video talking about all of your questions, your specific questions, as well. So if you've got any more questions about that, pop them down below and I'll go over it. But one thing I will say was exercise. I didn't do very much exercise at all other than walking. I really want to start doing exercise. I want to kind of get into that habit again, just for kind of health reasons. I think it's really important, but I am so sleep deprived at the moment that it's just not happening. I don't have the time in the day, and I watch these mums on Instagram that work out while their little kids just playing next to them. I couldn't do that. Lola is not that kind of kid. She wants your attention 24/7. She's on you. She's very like tactile like that. It just wouldn't happen. So yeah, once you start sleeping a little bit better, then what I can do is get up at 6 and work out. But at the moment she's waking up at 5:30, and I'm not waking up at 4:30 to work out. Like, sorry, but I'm not. So yeah, I hope that this was what you thought it was going to be. I'm really sorry if it's disappointing, but do not give yourself a hard time about it. You will get there when you are ready to get there, and it could take years, and that's fine. And you have to kind of have your head in the game, and you'll get there. And that's all there is to it. It's really, really that straightforward. That it clicks at some point, and then you'll do it. And until it clicks, just be as mindful of being healthy as you can. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm glad I got it filmed, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.